On this loss tonight against the Utah Jazz, he's going to react. Can't wait to hear what he has to say.
Yeah, it was tough. I mean, Utah came out on fire. They executed their offense beautifully. We weren't rotating well, but they really spaced us out. And 14-0, before you knew it. And like you said, 19-2. So it was a rough go out there. And we climbed back in it. Our second group did a good job getting back in it, but obviously it was not our night.
ESPN kind of uncovered a stat about Steph in that starting lineup. His usage rate, is significantly lower in that lineup. Why do you think that is? And is that an issue if he's just used a lot less in a particular lineup?
Well, I think, there's a lot that goes into all that. We see all the numbers and all the combinations, and there's plenty of theories that we could talk about, but I'm going to leave that for you guys to assess and figure out. We talk about everything internally, obviously as a coaching staff, and we're well aware of combinations that are working that aren't, well aware of Steph's usage rate. So, as I've said to you guys, it's going to take us 20 games to figure out where we really want to be with our rotation. And we're at 16 now, and I think we're getting a pretty good look at everything. And we've just had 2 bad losses in a row. We've got to assess everything, no doubt.
You've been pretty firm that doesn't include the starting lineup. Would you now say it does?
What I've been firm about is the main thing I've been firm about is that we're a team that has just been put together we're a team with a lot of moving parts. We just played a team that's been together for years, and you see how important continuity is. And we don't have any continuity on this team, and I think that has been apparent, throughout the early part of the season. We have our moments, but we have to continue to try to build something that we can rely on night after night. And the main thing is our defense. We have to be playing with energy and focus, and we got to get after it at that end of the floor. But there's no doubt that we have to assess everything as a staff, as an organization. How we're looking at this season, what our goals are. Everything is up for adjustmants.
Coach Chris Alvarez from ABC7. It was hard to hear on the broadcast, but what was the sound like in the arena, even though it was on the road when Steph actually broke the record or got in second place?
I didn't even notice. I don't notice that kind of stuff, but I'm sure Steph would have preferred doing it in a more consequential game.
Sure.
Hey, Steve, it seems like you guys were getting a lot of mid-range shots or kind of forced into those looks throughout the game. How much of that was just Rudy Gobert's presence in the paint?
Well, I think the most disappointing aspect of this game, Wes, and the last game is the number of times we did not move the ball on to the other side of the floor. We're getting it, attacking a closeout, 1-2 dribbles, or maybe we're in our offense. We turn the corner and everybody's looking to shoot. The ball's got to move. We have always preached ball movement here. I was very proud of the young guys in the fourth quarter. Nico came in, had 4 assists in about 8 minutes, and ball started to hop. Juan Toscano Anderson, does a good job of moving the ball. We've got to understand that, especially when you're playing against Mitchell Robinson or Rudy Gobert, you've got to look to get the ball swung. You can't just keep attacking a shot blocker or pulling up for mid-range shots. Got to be drive and kick. That's the name of the game.
Steve, what elements are hardest to be patient about right now?
Well, everything, Monty. I mean, we want to establish something. We think we're good enough to compete and play at a high level, and we've had those moments this year. But as Bill Parcells once said, you are what your record says you are. We're a 500 team. And so the frustration the last couple nights has been our defense. and the ball sticking. And so, my job as head coach and our job as a staff is to figure out, is this the direction we're going to stay on, or do we want to make some changes and rotationally and take a different course? But as I said, there's a lot of moving parts with our group. The one thing I will say is that we have great guys, and I love coaching them every day. They are all committed to the team, to each other. And so I have great faith that we are going to bounce back. But we'll come back into Chase on Monday. We've got a game Monday, game Wednesday. Very confident in our guys' character and their competitiveness. So we'll bounce back.
All right, you just heard from the head coach, Steve Kerr, and I want to read a quick quote for both of you guys here and get your reaction to it. He talked about the starting lineup, or was asked about the starting lineup, and Kerr says there's no doubt that we have to assess everything as a staff. As an organization, how we're looking at this season, what our goals are, everything is up for debate. So what should Steve Kerr do now? Because this starting lineup for the last 5 games have been outscored by big numbers in the first quarter, I should say, by the Jazz, 9 points. The Knicks outscored them by 9. The Lakers outscored them by 12. And then the Nuggets outscored them by 13 in the first quarter a couple Thursdays ago. So what should Steve Kerr do here with the starting lineup?
I still think, as he said, he's still feeling this team out. Right? We've had some good stretches. I think what we've learned, obviously, after 16 games, they're about a 500 team,
right?
Which is the lower level playoff team. That's what they've proven up until this point. Now, they've had some really good wins.
Yep.
They've just had back-to-back tough losses. And I think he's done a good job manipulating minutes, not so much the startings or the bench.
Right.
Like we talked a lot about Andrew Wiggins playing with the second unit. We talked about Oubre playing with the second. They're starters. We talked about how well he's used them with the second unit. So he's still trying to solidify exactly, and he's not getting that consistent effort each and every night. Probably the most consistent players have been Steph, obviously, and Andrew Wiggins. After that, it's been a game-to-game feel for Steve. And the biggest factor is the roster has had a huge turnover.
Right.
A short training camp.
Yep.
And that's why the Utah Jazz, the LA Clippers, and the LA Lakers are sitting up top. They have that consistency of their roster, and obviously they got great players, but they've got the same roster coming back. So the shortened training camp hasn't affected those teams as much, right, Darrell?
No, 100%. And, like he mentioned, this Utah Jazz team has been together for a while, and the past Warriors team had played together, so he understands what that chemistry really means. So I think they're go back to the film and look at the numbers and see what combinations work the best and try to put the best players out there on the court. So either that's, changing the starting lineup or bringing guys out the game early and putting guys back in the game, inserting them with the second unit. I think they're going to do their best job at, finding the right combinations. But it's still an early season. It's all about building that chemistry day to day and finding the right combinations that work.
And it wasn't too long.
Second quarter, and they never looked back. But we're going to start the postgame show here, presented by Toyota, with the positive, Bully. The Hall of Famer Chris Whelan, Darrell Wright, and of course, Bonte Hill. Steph Curry now, number 2 on the list, and it's just a matter of time before he's number 1 when he surpasses Ray Allen, sometime probably next season.
Congratulations, Steph Curry. Tremendous accomplishment. Passing the great Hall of Famer, Reggie Miller. And like you said, Bonte, just a matter of time before he goes past Ray Allen. And Darrell, then he'll start his own 3,000 club, and then probably start his own 4,000 club.
Ooh. Easy call right there. 4,000 is on the way, man. Congrats to Steph Curry. What a list up there. The past, another great shooter, and have one more in the way. I'm super proud of him and happy for him. I know it was an ugly night, but what another milestone.
You know what was beautiful to see? Very appropriate that he was in the Oakland uniform.
The call.
Yes,
and then that 3 that put him ahead of Reggie Miller, right here, the relocation.
It's a classic Curry
That's
3.
just a standard Steph Curry play. Make a move, give it up, get it back, include your teammates. Just a phenomenal player. And like I said, congratulations, a tremendous accomplishment.
And Reggie, your boy, Bully.
That's my guy.
Your boy, Reggie. I've had the best seat in the house and calling a lot of your games, Steph Curry. Simply greatness. Congrats. But the job isn't done. Jesus Shuttlesworth, a.k.a. Ray Allen, is waiting on you.
You know what's so beautiful is the respect that Steph has for Reggie and how proud Reggie is of Steph Curry. So it's a beautiful thing to see that fraternity of great players and the respect that they pass on to each other.
Yeah, I love to see that, the OG give him love, Records are made to be broken, right? And
Right.
Reggie Miller gave him that love. So that's a great moment, and I'm pretty sure Steph is pretty proud of himself for that as well.
Anybody ever, Steph Curry is going to have this record. We saw James Harden on this list as well. He may get there soon in the 3,000 club with the way he jacks up three-pointers, no doubt about it. But anybody like Steph Curry you ever seen in your lifetime? Reggie was great. Ray Allen became great. Bird had it. I know he only attempted 3 or 2 threes a game in his career, but he was great. There's nobody like Steph Curry. He's literally changed the game.
He's